What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So today I'm going to make an analysis video since I didn't post a daily chart markups, so I decided to do a video as it is more informational and there's a little bit more to talk about. So first of all, I'm going to start with gold, right? So if we look at gold, this is what we have. And let me kind of delete some of these zones so it's more clean and more easy to understand. I'm going to keep this one. Right? So first we have magnet zones. Magnet zones are some specific high value areas where the price had a strong rejection on the higher time frames. So if we look at this magnet zone, we see a strong rejection here on the weekly time frame to the upside with this move to the upside. Then after the price broke below, found this weekly zone that had a strong bounce once again back to the zone once again. After it rejected the zone, came back to respected the zone once again. So we have two major weekly magnet zones, right? And at this moment, what do we see on the weekly time frame? Yes, we do see a very strong momentum, but at the same time, we are currently rejecting. It's Thursday, so for 4 days, the price failed to break above this weekly magnet zone. So what we can expect that the price is gonna show some more rejection and move to the downside to test some daily support levels or the next magnet zone. It all depends on the price action. We have still 2 trading sessions, 2 days for the price to break, so there's a potential still that the price is going to break, but we're going to base our trades on facts and not feelings. And if we go to the daily, this is what we can see, and we can see more clearly. We can see these rejections. As you can see, if we look at candles, single candles one by one, very strong momentum candle, weaker bullish candle. Then we had a lot of bears try to step in, but the bulls pushed the price higher. The bulls tried to push the price higher once again, and then yesterday the price daily candle closed bearish, rejecting the weekly magnet zone. If we go to the lower time frames, I have found a supply area which was demand on the 2-hour time frame, and as you can see, it was respected here, and here, and now the price broke below it after rejecting the weekly magnet zone and is currently retesting. So I'm gonna be focusing on this gold setup on lower time frames, on 15-30 minute time frames, to see more rejections potentially. As you can see, if we go to the 15-minute time frame, what do we see? We see that the price is currently forming higher highs and higher lows, right? This retest. So I'd like the price to break 1 or 2 structures to the downside before looking for entries to go short, because this retracement is not over until that happens. So for price to trigger my entry, this needs to happen. Very nice, very simple, very clean price action. Also, if you were looking at the patterns, there's maybe some head and shoulders pattern here, or double top pattern. We also have some liquidation candles, liquidity candles, whatever you want to call them. So a pretty solid setup. Now, what are we going to target? And there are some spots that we can look at. This is daily time frame, and on this daily time frame, I see this daily support, a huge daily support, very well respected, very clean support, resistance. So we can expect that the price is going to come back here before continuing higher. So this is my setup for today on gold. Now, if we look at US30, this is what we have. First, let me delete these. We also have very strong momentum to the upside without any deeper retracements, but at the same time, the price approached this weekly magnet zone. Actually, I can move this a little bit lower, and you can see how the price is rejecting once again for 4 days. The price has failed to break above. As you can see, it tried to move higher, but eventually closed below by looking at this weekly candle. If we look at the daily time frame, what do we see? On the daily time frame, we have 3 consecutive daily candle closures and then weak bullish candle. So there's the potential that the price may come back to this weekly magnet zone before dropping lower, or eventually the price is going to break above. But once again, I see these rejections. I see extended momentum. I do expect, and also we have this daily resistance, right? We can all agree on that. Let me change the color real quick. Why is it not changing? Here we go. So multiple days of rejection here, and now we have rejection here. What were the previous scenarios? The price dropped, and the price is currently here right now. So what do we expect? The price to drop because of all these confirmations that we gathered throughout all these different time frames. Now, if we go to the lower time frame, I do have a nice zone that I'm focusing on, and this is going to be this supply. I like this not because of all these multiple confirmations throughout these price action moves, but also it interferes with our weekly magnet zone, which is this dotted line. So if the price is able to come back to retest the weekly and also the supply, I really do believe this could be a nice potential scenario to go lower on US 30. On US 500, I have similar price action. Also, we do have a daily support. Let me go to the daily so you can see it clearly. Right, on the daily support, which was previously resistance, support, resistance. Very strong zone. So after the price broke above, we can expect the price to come back to the support before continuing higher, right? Now, if we go to the, I think it was 1 hour time frame, we have this nice demand that once again also interferes with this daily support. So we have two major zones waiting for the price. So if the price is able to come back here, there's a nice potential scenario to go higher. Or once the price breaks below this, we can have a short-term trade down to this zone, right? But I really like more the US 30 setup rather than this one. Also, as you can see, the price once again potentially formed a head and shoulders pattern. So reversal pattern, we can expect the price to move a little bit lower. US 100, once again, very similar as US 500. We do have a daily support plus the demand area. So if the price is able to come back here, this could be a nice potential setup to go higher. On the daily time frame, as you can see, just like on US 30, the price rejected the daily support and resistance, which is now resistance. So I was expecting this move to the downside. We took a couple losses because probably our stop losses were a little bit too tight, but that's okay. We took winners on, gold, euro, USD, and so on. So this could be a nice potential setup. Also, another scenario that could happen is basically the price coming back to this supply area before dropping, but I rather prefer this scenario because of all the momentum that we have on the left, and I'll rather follow the momentum rather than go against it, So even though if I open or I call out a short position, make sure to use lower risk than usual. Now, the Aussie USD trade, very simple that I just called out. Once again, we have inverse head and shoulders, right? Inverse head and shoulders, which was with a lot of resistance, or the neckline, right? So the price broke above, but never came back to properly retest. So that was my overall bias. Now, if I looked at the price action a little bit closer, I found this support and resistance. Once again, look, support, resistance. The price failed to break above, closed below once again. So if we go to the lower time frames, what do we see? We see a double bottom. You can see one top and another top. Well, I mean double top, I'm sorry, not double bottom. And also I pulled out a Fibonacci tool. I went to the 30-minute time frame, and what I noticed is that the price is perfectly rejecting the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. On top of that, we do have a supply that interferes with this daily resistance. The price broke below it, came back to retest, had a nice liquidity candle to get these stops. So I think this is a high value setup. I gathered a lot of information throughout different time frames, and I really like what I see here. So we opened this trade. I really hope this plays out, but this looks very valid and really follows my trading plan. So this is what I have for today. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.